What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another DC Heroes and Villains video. Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about PvP, and that is going to be Assault Mode. And I want to talk to you guys quickly about a few things. Number one, I want to talk about the type of setup you want to have for your attack team and your defense team. And then number two, how long it normally takes for one of these to load. As you can see here, you click it, it won't show you anything. And number three, why this is still going to be one of the most important modes and what to expect as you go up in the ranks. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about some of the best units for defense. All right, so first off, you want to set up a good defense team here. This right here is my old defense team. This should not be it. I just want to show you guys what it looked like. A really good defense is going to be comprised of two things. Number one, buffers, anti-buffers, people who can flip buffs, and people who can remove taunts. Okay, those are going to be the three main things. And most of all actually, it's going to be a cleave team, a team who can do AoE damage a lot and as often as possible, right? So first off, Riddler is not going to be necessary in this team. You can remove him from that. Ivy is actually good still here because she does the accuracy down and the attack down whenever she gets hit. Flash is perfect here because he does AoE. Obviously, Flash is not in the game for some of you guys, but he does constant AoE damage and he does haste buff on your unit. So you're going to be getting yourself a ton of damage going through your power moves. Okay, Aquaman, an incredible unit to have in this team, and the reason why is two things. Number one, he is cleave, and number two, he has two of the best PvP debuffs. He has barrier suppression, which is he removes all barriers from people, and then he also has buff removal. So he removes all the buffs from Waller. He can remove all the buffs from Cersei if she does have a chance to convert those buffs into, or debuffs into buffs, and he has the ability to remove all of the barriers created by any barrier character. So that's Blue Beetle, Cyborg, you name it, right? Anyone who can create a barrier, he's going to just simply remove it. He can also remove immunity buff from Superman. So those are the kind of things that Aquaman brings to PvP, and this is why he's so important to have in a PvP mode. Now, Beast Boy is going to be the best tank for this because of the fact he does do AoE damage. Again, he will be swiping everybody across the board, doing equalized damage, except for those who are obviously weak element to him. So Beast Boy, he's not out yet again, but when you do get him, he's going to be the best tank for you in PvP for that reason alone. And he pairs well with Raven, who's also unfortunately not out right now, so you can use her now. If you don't have Raven, that's okay. If you don't have Beast Boy, that's okay. You don't have to worry about that. You can actually add in Firefly, which is actually a really good PvP unit with Aquaman, because every time he gets hit, he has a chance to do vulnerability, which allows all of your tiles to do the same amount of damage no matter what their element is. Firefly also does have a really good AoE damage dealing move, so you guys can toss him in there, and he's the same element, of course, as Aquaman, making it really easy for those two to jive together. And not to mention, he does more damage on all enemies that have per buff and debuff on each of the targets. So the only downside to putting them together is the fact that he strips the buffs and he kind of does more damage with them. That's really the only downside to the two of them, but it's not the end of the world because their two cleaves together actually do impressive damage, and they're the same color, so you'll probably hit them off at the same time. So don't worry about that. Your defense team and your offense team will actually not suffer from that in any way, shape, or form. All right. Another really good unit here is going to be Cheetah, believe it or not, with the three of them, because she's also light. She has haste on herself. She'll be doing constant supers. She has great buffs, and she's great against blockers. A lot of people who set up blockers for their defensive teams to take a lot of damage down. But every time somebody blocks her, she increases her power gauge. She gains yellow color up whenever she dodges, and then every time she's hit by a power move, she gains critical up for 3 turns. And then not to mention, she inflicts block down as well on opponents, and then casts haste on herself. So really good unit to have on PvP as well too, and will keep you alive for quite some time. If you have Vandal Savage, another really good unit to have on there. Vandal is really hard to kill, is very hard, survives quite a long time. And will keep you guys up. So you guys can remove like Raven, for example. You can remove Flash. You can move this. You can have Firefly. You can have, like I mentioned, who else did I just mention? Cheetah, right? Ivy can stay. And then again, you can have Vandal Savage if you have Savage. So Vandal's really good here as well too. Okay, so a couple other units you guys can obviously place in here is going, if you do have them, and again, you'll only have them if you're in beta, is Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is really good for keeping everybody up with barriers. And then lastly, Cersei. Cersei's absolutely incredible. So here, she's really useful, especially because if you do get a lot of debuffs, first off, Firefly will use those debuffs. Sorry, not use those. Sorry. Whenever you get debuffs, she actually will convert all the debuffs into buffs. So having these guys here together like this is a really, really good setup. So this here is a powerful AoE cleave team with barrier, buff strip on the opponent, anti-suppress for barrier as well. So she gives barrier, he takes away barrier, haste and damage, and also block down, so stop blocking teams, accuracy down and attack down whenever she gets hit, plus a heal and a good single target, and then of course AoE and vulnerability. So all really good buffs and debuffs on the opponents. This team will dominate. And honestly, like having Aquaman here, and I've talked about this before, he'll remove all of Waller's buffs on a constant basis. So he's almost the anti-Waller when it comes down to PvP. So again, use him if you want. Now, you can also use Waller in this team if you want more buffs. You can take Cheetah away here or Firefly and add in Waller, and you'll get yourself an additional buffer plus the ability to do an assist attack on everyone. And that would really, really drive your damage home. Okay, so that right there is a really good team. So let's just do a PvP match here. I'll show you guys how it looks. So as you progress and you get into like this echelon of the world, you're going to start seeing pretty powerful teams. Okay, and a lot of these guys are going to be around your level or higher. When you get here, also, you don't have to take the reward. So for example, I don't want to use the stamina right now, right? So don't touch it, guys. It's not going to disappear. A lot of people are asking that question. It does not disappear. Hold on to it until you need it. Come back in here when you want it and then use it. So you don't have to waste that stamina, okay? So let's just do this matchup here. I'll show you guys. This is the team. I'll remove Riddler. Let's keep Ivy. I'll take out Waller. I'll put Cersei in just to show you guys how she works. And then let's put in, who else did we talk about? We talked about Cheetah. Cheetah's actually low level for me on this one. Sorry, I won't be using her. Just because I want to show you guys how this works out, right? Wonder Woman's really good as well for PvP, by the way, guys. So if you're looking for a good blocker, Wonder Woman's a good one. I'll use Flash here just to kind of show you guys the whole AoE cycle of how this works. Now, normally I would take away, in this case, I would have Cersei, Raven for Cersei, but we'll keep it this way for now and just show you guys how this team works, okay? So the only unit you really can't get here is Flash and Beast Boy, but I already explained to you guys how that works out anyways and who to replace them with. But here, let me just show you guys. First off, build up your reds and your yellows. You want to build up yellows, and don't use the yellow in attack until you have complete access to their buffs, and then you want to pop it, okay? So here we're going to do purple, get that out of the way. Red. So Flash, you can see, he's already got there. So now, like, everybody gets haste, right? So everybody now can do specials quicker, or they'll gain the specials quicker, I should say. Heads up and a green's up as well. So Beast Boy here is going to do taunt shortly. Now the goal here is to get Aquaman up as soon as possible. Look, he's got, I don't know if you guys saw that, he's got haste down now, right? So you can pop this anytime. You get a heal in there for Beast Boy. Get your reds back up. Now here's the fun part. You want debuffs, right? So this team doesn't really do much debuffs. We just lost the debuff there. We can hit that now and switch it over to a haste right there. So you can see your vulnerability. Watch, we'll do this now. Right there, see? Now you can see the vulnerability had turned into impervious. Color advantage has no effect on that character. So Cersei just flips it, right? Very, very good, very powerful. And that's why she does so well in PvP. And then you can see everybody got a barrier, right? Based on the amount of debuff she has. So we'll do Flash again. There we go. Get Aquaman up. Now you can see here, this right here is going to get removed. Right there, the attack up is gone. Right? Everybody got hit pretty hard there. And then you continue doing this. And then Beast Boy here will finish most of them off. Right? And you just got one opponent left here to deal with. And it's pretty much a joke at this point, right? Just one shot and it's done. So there you go, guys. The perfect setup for a perfect team for PvP. Real easy to create. There's a lot of different advantages you have with different units. Feel free to experiment, but that right there is how you do it. I just took the stamina right there. Shouldn't have done that. It was an accident. I was talking. From here, I can just pretty much work on T6 though. So it's not that bad. So let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section. You know where to find me. I'm always on Discord. If I don't answer you guys, just know that I'm probably pretty busy with my kids and family. But I'll do my best to answer who I can when I can. Just remember, PvP roughly is every 4 to 5 hours is when it refreshes. So if you're having a hard time finding time to do PvP, just try to log in every I'd say every about 4 hours to do at least a match or two, and you guys should be able to keep up with it at that time. Again, it's very important to rank up. And a lot of people are asking, do I go with the highest possible fights, like in terms of rank? Yes, you always push the 5. Push the 5 and nothing below that, because you're just wasting energy at that point and it's not worth it. So push 5 and keep going. And eventually, guys, you'll hit the point where you'll be getting those really, really good rewards. And some of the best rewards are actually in PvP. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope the video helped. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.